All right, guys. So the Bitcoin plan is becoming a reality, right? It really, really is, guys. As I told you guys, the plan for me for Bitcoin, where I see Bitcoin heading, is much, much higher. Okay, I told you guys many times. I don't think 126K is the cycle top for Bitcoin. And like I said, guys, many times, I could be wrong, right? I could be 100% wrong. Maybe 126 is the top. But personally, guys, okay, and I know fewer people out there in the crypto space, right, other Bitcoiners believe that 126 is not the cycle top. Okay, there's two different sides here, guys, right? There's a group of people saying that it is over, right? That we are, in fact, now entering a bear market, okay? That 126 is the top, right? And then there's the other group of people, right? There's the other side, which I am on, that we are, in fact, saying Bitcoin will be heading much, much higher. Okay, and that's exactly what's happening right now with Bitcoin. Okay, it's becoming true, guys, right? Um, Bitcoin today is pumping. Okay, Bitcoin is continuing to skyrocket back up to the upside. Bitcoin is now back at the 90K levels. So in today's video, guys, there is in fact a fair few charts that I do want to show you guys, indicating that Bitcoin has the potential to go back up to $100,000, okay, back up to that level, right? Even back up to its previous highs. That is possible, right? So let's talk about it, guys. So looking at the Bitcoin price today, yeah, it is looking absolutely amazing, guys. Okay, absolutely amazing today for Bitcoin, back at $91,000. Look at Bitcoin today, man. This is currently the 1 hour time frame, and yeah, Bitcoin is continuing to pump today. Okay, we know Bitcoin, um, for the past few days have been slowly bouncing back up to the upside, but today is now officially back at $90,000. Okay, earlier this morning, we did actually see Bitcoin reaching back up to 90K, and it actually went as high as $91,800. Couldn't quite get to 92K, but that's fine, right? It's great to see Bitcoin back at the 90K levels. Okay, so maybe, guys, okay, maybe $80,000 was the bottom, okay? And right now we are in fact going to be seeing a beautiful recovery happening for Bitcoin, okay, where it goes back up to $100,000, even reaching back up to its previous highs of 126, right? Even reaching a new all-time high. Okay, like I said, guys, I don't think 126 is the cycle top for Bitcoin. And like I said, I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. A lot of us can be wrong with that. Maybe 126 is the top, but I just don't believe it, right? I think Bitcoin has the potential to go much, much higher, right? And then it is looking pretty good right now for Bitcoin. So maybe, okay, this is currently the daily time frame. Maybe we are in fact seeing a V-shaped recovery right now happening for Bitcoin. Okay, you guys can see, right? Like I said, maybe this was the bottom, $80,000, and right now Bitcoin has now jumped back to 90K, above 90K, and it is ready to reach back up to $100,000. Okay, so maybe this is the moment, guys, where we do see a V-shaped recovery happening for Bitcoin. I must say, it is looking pretty good today for Bitcoin, right back at the 90K levels. Okay, so yeah, past 24 hours, Bitcoin is up 4%, a slight jump, looking pretty good today, right? Altcoins are looking pretty good as well, right? Past 24 hours, we are in fact seeing a lot of altcoins, okay, in the greens, right? You also clearly see a lot of alts up, 3%, some are up, 4%, over 5%, which is always nice to see. Looking at Casper, right? If you guys haven't seen my most previous video on Casper, you should definitely check it out. But yeah, Casper's up over 20%. As we know, Casper for the past, few days, past like 2 days, has been skyrocketing, right? 2 days ago, we saw Casper absolutely skyrocketing, and today Casper's continuing to go much, much higher. Look at this, right? For the week, Casper's up over 40%, right? 41%, guys. Casper is still, outperforming a lot of alts, right? You guys can just clearly see that. Okay, when we saw Casper skyrocketing, 2 days ago, it was performing a lot of alts, and it's still doing that today, right? You guys can clearly see that Casper's up 20%, while other alts, are slightly up. Okay, you guys clearly see that nothing is comparing, or outperforming Casper, right? Casper's clearly outperforming a lot of alts today, including Bitcoin, right? You guys can just clearly see that. So, yeah, it is looking pretty good for alts today, right? Especially Casper. And this is why, guys, you guys should study Casper, because I'm all in on Casper, right? This is like the only altcoin that I am holding right now, okay, other than Bitcoin, right? As you guys know, I'm all in on both Bitcoin and Casper, okay? So that is that. But it's great to see Casper up, 20% today. Now, looking at the Bitcoin monthly returns, even though we are in fact, seeing Bitcoin having a beautiful recovery today, right? Back at the 90K levels. And it is obviously, bounced back up. We are still in the reds for November, guys. Okay, but we are in fact seeing a slight recovery. Okay, so we are now only down just over 16%. Okay, 16.6%, right? But we are still in the reds, of course. Yesterday, I believe we were in. I think we were down like over 19%, almost 20%, I believe. So we are in fact seeing a slight recovery happening for Bitcoin. If we do want to see a green November, like Bitcoin has to make a move ASAP, like soon, right? Because we only have less than a week left into this month of November. But like I said, okay, I do believe this month will be in the reds, right, for November, just like October. Okay, so let's see if December will change for Bitcoin, right? So yeah, that is that. But yeah, looking at this, guys, the Fin Greed Index, you guys can clearly see, yeah, we are still in extreme fear. Even though Bitcoin is having a recovery today, we are still in extreme fear, guys. Okay, so the sentiment hasn't really been changing right now. It's currently at 22. I mean, it has jumped, okay, just a little bit, slightly, nothing too crazy. Yesterday was at 15, today is at 22. We're still in extreme fear, guys. But I do believe soon enough, okay, maybe by tomorrow, it will jump to neutral, right? But we'll have to see, okay? But yeah, looking at this, guys, over $100 billion has been added to the crypto market today. Okay, as I said earlier, the short-term max pain is up. So yeah, it is looking absolutely amazing today for crypto, right? For Bitcoin and for altcoins. Okay, you guys clearly see a lot of greens today. So yeah, absolutely amazing to see. But yeah, as we know, guys, okay, the Bitcoin dominance. This is important, right? The Bitcoin dominance. Okay, I know a lot of us want to see alt season happening. And for alt season to happen, we need to see the Bitcoin dominance dropping, as I told you guys many times, just like what it did in 2017. Even in 2021, okay, we saw a major drop happening for the Bitcoin dominance. Look at it, right? In 2017, it dropped over 60%. In 2021, it dropped over 48%, almost 50%, guys. Okay, and so far this year in 2025, it's only down it's only down slightly. It's not down 35%, right? You guys can clearly see that. I thought for 1 second it was down like 35%, but it's not showing that, right? But if the Bitcoin dominance were to drop back down, right, all the way down here, then yes, it will be down 35%, is which we want it to see. That's what we want to see, right? But it hasn't happened. Okay, the Bitcoin dominance, yes, it has slightly dropped, but we haven't seen a major drop. And that's why we haven't seen, true alt season happening yet. Okay, do I think it will happen? It has to, right? Like imagine, guys, we go through an entire bull market without seeing true altcoin season happening. That's going to be insane. Like, yes, we did in fact see some altcoins, reaching back up to, the previous highs, even reaching a new all-time high. Like, for example, Ethereum, a couple months back did in fact reach a new all-time high, okay, of like $4,900. Couldn't quite get to 5K. It was almost there, but couldn't quite get there, right? Sadly, and then it just dropped. Same with Solana, right? We saw Solana, okay, reaching a new all-time high. I believe XRP did in fact reach a new all-time high as well a couple months back. We know XRP has been skyrocketing, right? XRP has had a fair few moments where it does pump like crazy. But yeah, other alts, okay, have been reaching, new highs as well, but not much, guys. Okay, a lot of these altcoins, okay, majority of these altcoins in the crypto market right now haven't even went to their previous cycle high yet, which is insane. So we haven't seen true, alt season like happening yet, like truly happening, guys. Okay, so we're gonna see the Bitcoin dominance dropping further down to the downside for us to see alt season truly happening. Okay. But yeah, looking at this, guys, right? So whale versus retail. Okay. So it says here, whales go aggressively long on Bitcoin while retail traders remain heavily short positioned, right? Smart money is leaning bullish. So yeah, you also clearly see the Bitcoin price, right? When it does drop, you also clearly see the whales, they buy heavy. Okay, you also clearly see that while retail investors are panic selling. Okay, they have paper hands, they have lettuce hands, guys, right? It just doesn't make sense, right? It really, really doesn't. Okay, the whales, okay, the big guys, they understand when we do see the Bitcoin price dropping, this is the best opportunity to buy. But when retail, okay, investors see Bitcoin price dropping, they panic sell. Okay, they see the FUD, okay, they think it's, fearful, which it really is, and they are literally panicking for no reason. Okay, they are literally panic selling for no reason at all. And yeah, they're just accepting it and just selling Bitcoin when it does drop. This is the worst thing to do, guys, right? When we do see the Bitcoin price dropping, when we do see anything dropping, that's an opportunity to buy more. It's that simple. To be more bullish, to buy it at a cheaper price, right? And I feel like a lot of people are doing this, and they are new to crypto, right? They are new to investing into, Bitcoin. They're not used to, the volatility, because we know Bitcoin short term is really, really volatile. They don't understand where Bitcoin is heading long term, right? Like, I've been investing into Bitcoin now for over 5 years. Like, I understand how Bitcoin works, and I know it's volatile short term, but I know long term it's always going to continue to go up, right? Bitcoin is truly designed to go up forever. Okay, so I understand that, right? But yeah, you have to clearly see huge difference between whales and retail. Okay, whales know when we see the Bitcoin price dropping, they buy heavy, and you guys clearly see this crazy spike. We know a lot of Bitcoin whales out there have been accumulating a lot of Bitcoin, right? So yeah, amazing to see. But yeah, looking at this, guys, I don't know if this is actually a glitch, but this happened today, I believe. So apparently 1.8 million Bitcoin left exchanges overnight. And yeah, this is for sure not normal at all, guys, right? Maybe, okay, someone out there, right? A lot of people out there realize that they should get the Bitcoins off exchanges, okay, centralized, crypto exchanges, right? It's never good to keep your Bitcoin, okay, on any crypto exchange out there, especially long term. We have seen many, crypto exchanges collapsing, pretty much going bankrupt, shutting down, right? Like Celsius and FTX, that was like the biggest one. We know how big FTX was, and they absolutely collapsed in 2022. So big lesson, right? Don't hold your Bitcoins in centralized exchanges, right? Crypto exchanges. You always want to store your Bitcoins offline, right? You want to store them in a hardware wallet, in a cold wallet. Okay, I recommend you guys using Tangent, and I think Ledger is amazing as well. And I use both of them, right? I use Ledger. Ledger was actually the first ever, hardware wallet that I've used, right? I think Ledger is great. I think Tangent is absolutely amazing as well. And there's other, hardware wallets out there that are great as well. Okay, even though I never used them, like Trezor, for example, right? But yeah, I don't know if this actually happened, but yeah, you have to clearly see this crazy spike downwards, right? So maybe they understand that they should get the Bitcoins off exchanges. But yeah, 1.8 million Bitcoin left exchanges overnight. Like, that is not normal at all. Like, we have never seen that happening, right? You have to clearly see that. So yeah, I think this is bullish though. Okay, they understand they should hold the Bitcoins long term offline, right? So that is that. But yeah, people are saying Bitcoin is dead. Okay, when people have said Bitcoin is dead, it always recovers every single time. Okay, no matter what, guys. Like I said earlier, Bitcoin always recovers. Yes, I get it. Short term, it goes up and down a whole bunch. It's volatile, right? It crashes a lot. It pumps a lot. I get that, right? It goes up and down a whole bunch. But understand long term, when you see the bigger picture, guys, it's always going up. It always recovers. Okay, we always see Bitcoin recovering. Okay, then every single time we enter a new bull market, a new bull cycle, it always reaches a new record high every single time. Every single time, right? When we saw the 2022 bear market, when Bitcoin was dropping, it went from 69K all the way down to 15K. People were saying Bitcoin was dead, that it's over. It will never go back up to its previous highs, even reaching a new high. But clearly, look at this, right? Bitcoin reached over 100K, right? Just think about that, guys. Okay, and a lot of people are in fact saying, it's over right now for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is dead. But no, guys, we know Bitcoin eventually will be getting to, 300K, eventually 500K, to even $1 million and higher. And of course, I'm talking long term. We may not see that happening this cycle, but in the next cycle and the next cycle, right, that will happen for Bitcoin. Understand, guys, we will see Bitcoin reaching millions of dollars per coin. It's going to be happening. And this is why I always tell you guys to accumulate at least one full Bitcoin, because you will become very, very wealthy if you simply just, own a full Bitcoin, right? But yeah, that is that, guys, right? Understand Bitcoin is not dead. Always think long term, right? But yeah, what's the plan, guys? What is the plan for Bitcoin? Are we about to see Bitcoin going higher or lower? Okay, like I said, there's two different sides here. A fair few people out there, right, are saying that it's over Bitcoin, right? It's entering a bear market right now. Clearly not, right? Bitcoin has been having a beautiful recovery today, right? Back at 90K, went from 80K to 90K in just a matter of a few days. So Bitcoin is having a beautiful recovery. But I think we are in fact seeing Bitcoin going much, much higher. I think it will go much, much higher, like I said many times. I think it will go back up to like 100K and higher, right? This is my plan, right? I think this is the Bitcoin plan right here, right? Went from 80K and now slowly bouncing back up. Now it's at the 90K levels, okay? It's jumped back up, just beyond $90,000 today. And I think it will continue to go much, much higher. I do believe Bitcoin has the potential to go back up to $100,000 and higher. I do believe that, guys, right? Even back up, there is potential for this, even back up to its previous highs and, of course, reaching a new all-time high. I do believe this is the plan for Bitcoin, okay? And so far, it's becoming a reality. Okay, it really, really is, guys. So far, it is looking pretty good for Bitcoin. It's becoming to plan, right? It really, really is. But yeah, understand, guys. Owning 0.2 Bitcoin puts you in the top 1% of Bitcoin holders. Okay, so just owning 0.2 Bitcoin puts you in the top 1%, guys. Just think about that. Just 0.2. That's pretty much 20% of a Bitcoin, right? So, like I said earlier, owning a full Bitcoin can be life-changing. I truly do believe you will be very, very wealthy. But I also do believe owning, small amounts of Bitcoins, right, Satoshis, is important as well. I told you guys, even just owning 0.1 Bitcoin, 10% of a Bitcoin will change your life. I truly do believe in that, guys. Honestly. Okay, like I truly do believe someday, one day, like down in the future, long term, we're gonna see Bitcoin reaching $10 million per coin. I honestly do believe that is possible, long term, right? So that 0.1 Bitcoin will be worth $1 million right there when Bitcoin reaches $10 million per coin. That's $1 million right there. 0.1 Bitcoin will be worth $1 million. So yes, you can become a millionaire by owning 10% of a Bitcoin, right? 0.1 Bitcoin. It is possible. So if you guys haven't, accumulated 1% of a Bitcoin, which is 0.01 Bitcoin, or 10% of a Bitcoin, which is 0.1 Bitcoin, or 20% of a Bitcoin, which is 0.2 Bitcoin, do it now. Try your best, right? Just simply dollar cost average. And once you get to owning 1% of a Bitcoin, and then 8% of a Bitcoin, 10%, 20%, and then 50%, right? Half of Bitcoin, try your best to get to a full Bitcoin. Just DCA for as long as you possibly can until you get to a full Bitcoin. Because I truly do believe that is the dream, right? That is everyone's goal right now, to accumulate at least a full Bitcoin, right? And I think it will be life-changing. You will become very, very wealthy if you accumulate a full Bitcoin. So promise me, guys, okay, and this is of course not financial advice, always do your own research, but guys, promise me, for the ones out there that are trying their best right now to buy Bitcoin, to stack Bitcoin as much as they possibly can, right, to stack Satoshis, try your best to get a full Bitcoin at least, or 10% of a Bitcoin if you haven't already, or 20%, or 50% of a Bitcoin, half of a Bitcoin. Once we do see Bitcoin dropping, because I do believe, like I told you guys, right, next year, 2026, I do believe we're going to be entering a bear market, right? we're going to see a final leg up happening for Bitcoin, and then it's going to drop. I think that's the plan for Bitcoin, right? Overall. So yeah, promise me guys, right, during the bear market, you guys will go ahead and take it as an opportunity to buy more Bitcoin. When we do see Bitcoin dropping back down to 70K, right, to 60K, maybe 50K, right? I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin reaching, 30K to 20K. I think those days are over for Bitcoin, right? I think the lowest it can go is like maybe 40K. That's just my personal opinion, right? I could be wrong, but just my personal opinion, right? So when we do see Bitcoin, dropping back down to 7K or lower, take that as a huge opportunity to buy Bitcoin, okay? Because in the next bull cycle, guys, right, Bitcoin will continue to go much, much higher. That's when Bitcoin will be reaching, 300K to 500K even and higher. It is possible. So Bitcoin holders, stack your stats, okay? Buy and hold. So that being said, guys, I appreciate all you guys for watching today's video. I will keep you guys up to date on Bitcoin, but man, it is looking amazing today. Bitcoin is now back above $90,000. So let's see if it will continue. I think it will, right? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys for watching today's video. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That is always much, much appreciated. And yeah, I will catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.